it is a correlative functional basis on continuous process of cost, function and other analysis for increased efficiency in the application of components of production. So cost reduction is the achievement of real and permanent reduction in the unit cost of goods and manufactured or services rendered without impairing their suitability for use intended as per SEMA England. So already we have discussed about the cost reduction. Now we need to understand about the cost reduction methods. What sort of methods has been decided about cost reduction methods? Here, first is administration. Why the cost reduction method contain administration? Because cost cutting is a top management issue. There is a plenty of room for cost cutting in this area. If the effectiveness of the people working in the office can be improved, the office should be recognized. To save money on stationery and labor, it's best to avoid using superfluous forms. Efforts should be made to decrease the telephone bills, lighting and travel expenses, but not at the expense of productivity. Yes, we should not sacrifice with the productivity, but should reduce the cost in which area it is possible. On administrative factors, there is no relation with the production, but on administration, the cost of office expenses should get reduced if it is unnecessary, if it is extra. So extra or unnecessary cost of administration should get reduced. So this is the first method of cost reduction towards the office. Second will be the product design. While designing the product, we should take into consideration the cost factor. The initial phase in the production of the product is the product design. Ultimately, product design is the first step of the production. So, the influence of any cost reduction measures taken at this stage will be seen throughout the product's manufacturing process. So, this is the first or initial stage which needs to be addressed properly. If we are successful in reducing the product design cost, that will affect last cost of sales. We will find that the cost reduction throughout the process. Then the most important field in which cost reduction can be undertaken is a design. Cost reduction opportunities should be explored both when introducing new design and when looking for a way to improve existing design. There might be the two chances. One, the existing one and looking for the different one, or extraordinarily the new design. So it's better to invest little more time and money up from that to lose money and waste time later on. So it's better to spend first money and time without making a mistake. So when production is up and running, that time it is possible. So designing is a new product efficiently and improving the design of an existing product saves money in the following way. First, the cost of the material. Cheaper replacement, higher yields, less quantities and a wide range of the material, lower storage cost and inventory investment. Now, you already know about designing the product. We must follow the product material cost. In material cost, it might have the inventory ordering cost or carrying cost, and we should reduce that cost according to the requirement. So therefore, the focus of reducing material cost can be taken place with the help of economic order quantity. How much order should be asked for purchase? That is to less the cost of ordering, reduce the cost of carrying. So we don't want to spend money on much more money on material acquisition. Actual required material should be purchased. Then material, types of material, what sort of the quality of material and the other cost. Labor expenses, like minimum tolerance and reduce operational time and so on. We should avoid the labor turnover, which effect on the training and development cost. So labor operating things or the labor turnover should be avoided. Labor expenses should be controlled to in a product design stage. In terms of variety, standardization and simplification boost productivity while lowering cost. We should boost the productivity, efficiency. Cost consciousness does not mean that we are not at all quality conscious. We are supposed to be quality conscious first. And with the help of cost reduction methods, we can achieve that target with the lowering cost. So lowering cost of after sales servicing, that is also possible. While designing the product, we should design in that way that after sales service will be minimized or negligible. There will be no after sales service requirement if we design product in that way. If it will last for a warranty period, so our after sales service cost going to reduce. So it will affect your life cycle costing also. The next method is marketing. We must understand the concept of marketing. While doing the market research, advertising, packing, warehousing, distribution, and after sales service supports are just a few of tasks that might be included in a cost reduction program. So this much list is there in marketing. We should suppose to reduce somewhere wherever possible. So marketing, an ABC study of customer can be help you to improve your sales effectiveness. Customers are divided into three groups, A, B, and C. The following are the importance factor that needs to be examined, like in order to reduce the cost in the area. Like it is the distribution of route efficient and cost effective. So route efficient and cost effective. So whether it is route efficient or cost effective, that question should be answered. Whether or not there is an effective sales marketing system. In marketing, we should understand the concept whether there is effective sales marketing system or not. And is marketing resource sufficient to this? So this should be answered well. Then only it is possible to reduce the cost on marketing. Next is organization. All efforts should be made to continuously lower cost through the adoption of innovative organizational and production process. It's impossible to qualify the cost saving that come from the bettering the organization. So nonetheless, it's some factors like should be considered in accounts economics will undoubtedly as real estate. One, each function and duty is defined. In organization, there should be the definite functions and duties that needs to be addressed properly. The responsibility should be fixed properly. Then task assignment and delegation shall be done correctly and with no overlapping. There should not be the overburdened staff and there should not be overburdened laborers. So while doing the task assignment or the delegation, we should know the correct person at the correct place. So a good communication route between different levels of management. So we, while in a scalar chain, there is a chances of late communication. So gangplank system should be there, or the communication system helps to enhance the productivity or efficiency of the organization. Sometimes people are waiting for the order. The order or any suggestion should come at the time of requirements. Then only the time saving will be happen and the effectiveness and efficiency will be enhanced due to the organizational structure and the proper organizational way where we can reduce the cost. Then employees are encouraged to make a cost reduction suggestions in organization. This sort of culture should be inculcated so that every employee will try to contribute from them side. So every employee will try to reduce the cost from their point of view. Then doubts and stumbling blocks are eliminated. There should not be doubts in the mind of any personnel who is under the system operating the things. So that needs to be addressed properly. There should not be any blocks or doubt in the mind. They have to be eliminated. The next method to reduce the cost is factory layout and equipment. So layout is a design or the structure of the factory. How that should be well defined, where from the material procurement to the warehousing, that everything should be designed in a proper manner that will reduce our time, reduce our wastages, and ultimately we are going to gain a cost reduction of the product. Like a cost reduction program should examine the industrial layout and the use of current equipment to see whether there is any room for cost reduction through the removal of manpower and material waste. We should try to reduce the manpower as well as material wastage. So if we succeed in reducing the wastage of time of labor and as well as the material, we will be achieving the cost reduction factors, as well as maximize the use of existing facilities. How we can use the effectively the given atmosphere, given structure of layout. So that is very much essential to understand in cost reduction method. The need for plant replacement, if there is requirement in the plant replacement, or the introduction of new process and facilitate expansion should all be examined, and various cost cutting options should be investigated. There should be the investigation of cost cutting options where we can reduce the cost. Any hidden bottleneck or challenge that prevent plants and other facilities from being used to their full potential should be investigated. The investigation should keep on going. That will give you the cost reduction methods. The next part is utility services. So power, water, steam, repairs and maintenance, transportation, and clerical services are just a few examples of these services. These sort of things or utility services should be addressed properly. Power, while using the power supply, how we are utilizing the best way of power, where we are switching off the fans or light or when they are not in a use, how we are reducing the wastage of power, how we are reducing the wastage of water, whether there is a drinking water or the processed water, how that has been planned to shift from the factory premises and how that water is being used. Same water can be utilized for the another purpose. The steam, repairs, maintenance, transportation facilities, and clerical services. So whether or not the utilities are provided at a reasonable rate and whether or not there is a room for increased usage, how we can utilize the same thing at twice or thrice the same water, the power can be utilized in a different way to reduce the cost, whether or not an appropriate preventive and curative maintenance system is there. So we would like to do the something that will cause the preventive measure which help to reducing the accident or reducing the maintenance or repairs cost. So preventive measures should be taken place. Whether or not disturbing wastage and other losses are maintained to be minimized. How to minimize the wastages or other losses. So whether or not modern equipment is being used and whether or not the routines are automated. Whenever we are going for automation, there will be the chances of reduced cost. This can be possible with the help of automation. Nowadays, the AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take place while automation of the industrialization. Here, the cost of labors will be reduced and sharply. So these sort of things or technology should be taken place on the point of view of organization to earn a maximization of profit. Whether or not the workflow and the loading factors have been adequately addressed, that needs to be understood while understanding the utility services. The best use of utility services needs to be done to reduce the cost. The next part will be personal manager. Personal management is a person, those who are working in our organization, they needs to be maintained or managed properly. The right person at the right place will give you the right results. So if you want the best result, we need the best person, and he should be the best at that work which we want to convey. So the use of appropriate work study methodologies and the implementation of solid incentive schemes to reduce the labor content of production. We must reduce the labor turnover ratio. Why? That ratio increase our training and development cost. So labor turnover should be avoided. We must maintain our labor relationship, so they should not be go for strike and should not waste the organization time. They should be fully motivated to work for the organization. They should be attached to the organization, that they will definitely contribute from themselves. So labor cost reduction through improved labor relations, welfare measures, and improved working conditions helps us to reduce the cost of production. Why? Whenever we are providing the good working atmosphere, that will enhance their efficiency. So ultimately, laborers are going to contribute in our organization in a solid manner. So this is why the labor relationship very important. So personal management will cause to reduce the cost. And the last one is production plan, program, and methods. The best production plan, program, and methods like a financial planning or financial management, or the best use of planning, deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, who should do it. So this is the questions to be answered while doing a production plan. What will be the best plan, best suitable plan, which will give you the best result of reduction of cost? That should be addressed first. Financial management should be done well. With the increasing difficulties of obtaining financial management should reduce necessary investment. So it must be assessed the amount of working capital and fixed capital requirement, as well as the financial benefits of reducing them. So capital waste is just as bad as having insufficient capital. Overcapitalization and undercapitalization are red flags. We should not have the overcapitalization. That will give a negative return on investment, and undercapitalization will not help to make the productivity at higher level. So what is required is appropriate capitalization. So capital should be acquired at a low cost. The rate of interest should, or the processing fees or the charges should be low. So that will reduce the cost of equity of financing. So the low cost and efficiently the maximize returns. So fixed assets and inventories that aren't being used profitably should be sold, and the process should be reinvented in most successful channel. While doing the financial planning about capital as well as long-term capital or short-term capital, either fixed assets or inventory, we need to plan properly. In production control ensures proper work planning by implementing an efficient procedure and program for material ordering, proper machine loading, and proper utilization of material, manpower, and resources. Ensure that time and money are not wasted due to waste of components, main material, and other resources. So main money, material, and machinery should be in a proper organized structure that will help you to reduce the overall cost. And the cost reduction can be taken place with the help of these areas. We should reduce our administrative cost, or the product design cost, marketing cost, organization cost, factory layout and equipment cost, utility services, personal management, or the production plan, or anything, the financial plan. Everything should be well equipped, well planned, so we able to reduce the cost. Therefore, now we'll go for the summary. What we have learned from this chapter. So a cost reduction program can help ensure that the outcome are consistent with the organizational goals and values. So organizational goals and values should be taken in a prime order. That the goal and the values should not be compromised, and they have to be achieved well. Cost reduction opportunities should be explored both when introduction new design and when looking for a way to improve existing design. So while product design, whether existing or the new one, we should conscious about the cost reduction. If we succeed in a product design stage to reduce the cost, definitely the ultimate product is going to be maintained at the reduced cost. So ultimately we'll be able to achieve the maximum price. Then market research, advertising, packing, warehousing, distribution, and after sales support are just a few of the tasks that might be included in the cost reduction program. Definitely, we should focus about the market research, how we can do the best market research at cheap cost, and how we can utilize the last market research for the next product. The advertising expenses, the best way of advertising to reach the people at the lowest cost need to be understood. The latest versions of advertising and the latest ways of advertising, how we can do the effective advertisement and customize or one-to-one advertisement at lower cost. Nowadays, the various social medias and various aspects are available to reduce the advertisement cost. That can be addressed and that can be do with the help of the latest technology. This is how we can reduce the cost of advertising. Packing, how we can reduce the packing cost, warehousing, storage cost, or just in time as per the order we need to maintain the product. So whenever it is possible that we are trying to reduce our cost, distribution stage, and how we can distribute the product, from which stock, from which branch it should be delivered, that needs to be addressed properly. After sales support, if we are designing product in that manner that will not require the after sales service, in that case our after sales service cost will not be there. And if we able to achieve that thing, that means we are not at all compromising the quality. Our product is durable, after sales service is not being required, so we are able to reduce that after sales service cost. So these sort of things should be taken place while doing the cost reduction, and these were the few methods or contents for cost reduction. Fixed assets and inventories. Fixed assets in case of long-term capital investment, and inventories are the working capital, the short-term capital investment that aren't being used profitably, should be sold, and the process should be reinvested in the more successful channel. That needs to be addressed properly. So these were the summary part. Now the illustration, the questions. Now, dash is a technique for increasing customer satisfaction while also is reducing cost. So without compromising customer satisfaction, we are trying to reduce the cost. This is called value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is a technique for increasing customer satisfaction while also is reducing cost. We are trying to reduce our cost, but not at all compromising with the customer satisfaction. This is called value chain analysis. ABM is stand for ABM. A stand for activity, B for based, M for management. Activity based management. This sort of question will be there in our book. So please refer that and try to answer the questions from it. So this is how the question can be asked, meaning of cost reduction, or discuss the various methods used for cost reduction. These sort of questions may be asked in examinations. So already we have studied this part, already we have studied the methods of cost reduction. And this is what the question answer session is. Thank you very much.